You like that? You like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky, defensive back, cornerback. Really impressive combine from this guy. Jumped almost 40 inches in the vertical, ran a 4.28. He has blazing speed. You'll see over the course of the video, I wish he had done the agility drills, right? Because there's some questions I do have about that. But, really impressive player. On the channel, we like to add up the plays on the ball. So the interceptions, PBUs, sacks, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, all that. He comes out to, I can't remember the number off the top of my head. It's somewhere in the 20s, though. It's just under that 25. But still really impressive. Makes a lot of plays on the ball. 3 career defensive touchdowns. So the dude can play. So let's jump right into this thing. We got him up here at the top of the screen. And so on this one, this talks a little bit about, or shows a little bit about the questions that we have about the agility stuff. Okay, so 0.667, I'd like to see a little bit faster time than that. And part of the reason why I don't necessarily think this one is about ability, it's that he's not really trusting what he's seeing. It's the receiver sticks that foot in the ground and he gets ready to break. He knows that he should break here, but he doesn't move yet. And then takes his time, gets down there, incomplete pass, but definitely could have been an interception. Could have been that 4th defensive touchdown, especially with his speed. He's going to run away from these guys. So I'd like him to just trust what he's seeing and go. All right, and this next one, zone coverage here. Really like this. So we get this snag concept. The receiver, the number 1 receiver, sits down in the zone, so he's underneath. So he apexes the routes. Sees the corner route, gets on top of it. Really good positioning here. Just really good zone eyes. And we've seen from some of the other guys that we've evaluated, they don't have that ability to do that, right? To apex the route, to understand where they are, and the route distribution is a really good job of getting in there. A little handsy, a little grabby. Get away with that in college, but in the NFL, might have been a holding penalty there. But I do like the eyes. That's the harder thing to be able to teach. All right, so this one, all right, you're not going to see him get beat vertical. Just too fast. Like the 4.28, it absolutely shows up on film. So trying to hit him with this double move here, not going to happen. He trusts his speed so much. Right? He never bites on these things. People try to hit him with them. He never bites on them because he trusts his speed. He knows that he's going to be able to get there. Then this is really good technique, stabbing with that hand and on top. This is how I like to see reps. This is how 4.2 guys end their reps, on top. All right, so crack, replace. We've seen this a bunch this season. Crack, replace. Comes down here to crack the safety. He fills in. I'd like to see him, though. The one question that a lot of evaluators have about him is, the tackling and the physicality and stuff. I'd like to see him be a little bit more cavalier on this one, to see it and go, right? It's run. Let's get down here and help out. So he does make the tackle, but, could have got in here and gotten it at the sticks for no gain. I would like to see him just be a little bit more forceful and a little more confident getting in there, sticking his nose in, but good play nonetheless. Gets in here. Gets in on the tackle. So we got him down here, bottom of the screen. Really good catch technique here. Patience. Okay. And so we talked about this a little bit with Azareye'h Thomas. I like the wider base that he takes here because it allows you to be able to slide and take the small, choppy 6-inch steps. When your feet are really narrow, you're going to take wide steps. Those aren't good. So good job here, getting the hands on and catch technique. Really good rep, really good patience. So we got him again, top of the screen. Look, he is so confident in his speed. He never looks like he's like, oh, I got to get out of here. I got to backpedal. I got to take these big steps. Just very small, patient, choppy, 6-inch steps. And so now, zone coverage again. On this one, is a blown coverage, so I don't know exactly what coverage it is, but I'm imagining that it's some kind of quarters, because you'll see the safety here carries this over route, right? So, and then there's nobody else deep, because there's no other deep routes. So I think that this is quarters. I think it's a blown coverage. Somebody was supposed to be able to take this guy that was motioning out, but nobody's there. And so he's apexing. Again, this is why you don't want to turn your back to things. He's apexing these two routes. And with his speed, he's able to help out, get in here. And so it's an incomplete pass, but either way, he would have been there to be able to make the tackle. Nobody's going to run away from him. And so really important with the zone eyes. Really impressive rep from him right there. All right, again, no fear of getting beat deep. Super patient. But I would love to see him get out of these breaks a little bit faster, right? And so one issue that he does have for a smaller corner, he does play a little high. So look how far he has to sink his hips and his headgear to be able to get out on this break. And so 1.067 seconds, not great like we saw with Darian Porter. He's getting like close to half a second on these. The downhill ones are going to take a little bit longer, right? So I'd like to see for him to get under a second, right? I'd like to see under a second. Don't like 1.067 for a corner his size, right? He's only 5'11", 183. So I want to see the quickness. I want to see him be able to move around. But, if he works on getting his headgear a little bit lower, hips a little bit lower, probably gets a better break here. All right, so we got him here, top of the screen. And so, again, patient, right? Super patient, small, choppy, 6-inch steps, quiet but active. Jams with one hand, opposite hand, gets on top of the route. Back shoulder, though, ends up being completed here. Back shoulder route on a 5'11 corner is probably the right thing to do. So you want to get attached, okay? So he's playing it chest to chest. Again, don't love the chest to chest technique for the smaller corners. I'd like to see him get his hips into him, box him out, right, and turn the other way and then become the receiver. Completion there, but to start, the press was good. To start, the press was good. That's just the next element when you get deeper into the route, at the top of the route, how you want to play it. So don't know what he's being coached to do. A lot of people are coaching this chest-to-chest technique, but y'all know me. I only like that for the bigger corners. All right, so bottom of screen here. Again, super patient. Super patient here. He's using scooch technique. Protects the end zone, right? The end zone is the cliff here, so he doesn't back up too much. You'll notice he takes a scooch step or two, right? So he gets in here, scooch, scooch. All right, now I'm going to square up, okay? Because I'm not trying to get caught in the end zone here. Gets hands on, right? We talked about this. When you get into this position, this catch kind of position, then you can jam with two hands because your hips are already declared. And he's attached to the route. Really impressive. Good stuff. All right, so we got him bottom of the screen. All right, again, you can see here, turns and opens, and he has to drop the hips and the headgear again. So again, another 1.067. All right, I'd like to see him get out a little bit faster than that. All right, so here, really good job of seeing it. So I would have liked to see this before. So he can do it, right? We don't time these ones because these aren't breaks. These are just screens. But if he sees it and goes, he's explosive and can get down there, okay? Would like to see a little bit more forcefulness with the block, right? Right? I want to see this guy go backwards instead of driving you back. But either way, gets rid of it, sheds it, gets him out of bounds. So again, he has no fear of getting beat deep. I love it. I love it when corners have this kind of confidence. So you can see, patient, small, choppy, 6-inch steps backwards in his back pedal, and then balances his feet up, gets 2 hands on because the hips are already declared. Really good rep there. Really good confidence in his speed. Maxwell Hairston. Supreme athlete. I like the technique. I think he's pretty technically sound. Would like to see a little bit more technique, though, with the breaks, right? So the press technique is good. You know, the vertical technique, the scooch technique, all that type of stuff is really good. But just the transitions are a little iffy, especially for a smaller guy. You'd want to see a smaller guy play a little bit more smooth. So, you know, he's in this group of guys where I'm like, I got to figure out where I want to put people. He also, with his size and his profile, slot, even though he didn't really play there a ton this year, you know, slot is something that you also have to consider with him. So Maxwell Hairston, going to be on my list, on my ranking list. Just don't know where he's going to fall quite yet, but I think that the team that gets him eventually is going to be happy with Maxwell Hairston. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. So as always, you know what it is. It's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks. We fly. I'm out. Peace.